Hey folks, it's Ty, the dog trainer with dogbehaviouronline.com, and I'm just going to click over here to a question that came in from someone that just purchased our DVD set on dog aggression. She says, "Thanks for the quick reply, Ty. Bonsai is only aggressive towards other dogs, but absolutely loves every person he meets. We got him as a 7-month-old runt from a breeder who didn't think he would sell, but changed her mind because of his sweet nature and wanted him to have a family. He lived outside, there were other dogs, and what sold us was he was so friendly. We also had an 8-year-old min pin, Batgirl, who we just put down at 16. That's too bad. And thought she could use a playmate and it would help keep her young. And they got along great. Bonsai went through his obedience class at PetSmart and passed, and there were trips to the vet for vaccinations where he was always friendly to other dogs. Then one particular vet visit, we were in the waiting room. We'd only had him about a month at this point, where he was friendly to other dogs, and a bigger dog comes in, and he goes ballistic out of nowhere. This other dog did nothing. He had seen and been friendly to other big dogs before, so I'm not sure what precipitated this. And ever since then, it's been guard dog aggressiveness towards other dogs except Batgirl. We tried to socialize him on our own, but our attempts scared us into trying further for fear of injury to other dogs. It should have been the motivator for training, I know. Bonsai did have TPLO surgery at 2 years of age, and there were several complications, which finally resolved in time. It explains why he has never been a good walker, but even after the surgery, he still will stop on a dime and lie down in the middle of a walk. But he pulls and pulls, so we don't take him really anymore. We have a huge yard, but I know that's no excuse. He sees the vet as needed as well as yearly, and takes arthritis meds regularly. Bonsai does bark at people walking by our fence, and once he was barking at a girl on her phone. We live next to a park, and she stuck out her palm face up, and he just licked it. She laughed and petted him and shared the story with her friends. A few years back, a Chow Chow that lived up the street would get out and literally attack Bonsai over the fence. Yes, Bonsai would bark at him, but the other dog was running loose and came up to our fence, and Bonsai was just protecting his territory. Bonsai received puncture wounds from the fight and got antibiotics for his trouble. The Chow and his family moved away shortly after that, thank goodness. We have since built up the fence so that wouldn't happen anymore. Batgirl was the alpha for several years until her senses started to fade, but there was no aggressiveness, just rudeness, I'd say. Bonsai would barrel past her running up the stairs or going into the house, sometimes knocking her aside. She would learn to step aside or hold back if she knew Bonsai was coming. We would correct him or try to hold him back every time, but he still did it. He would growl on her giant pet bed if she got too close, but she couldn't hear, so he just didn't take it further than that. They still licked each other and played together fine. Bonsai is not the most obedient, usually comes when you call him, and will chew things if not supervised, but he is very loving to all he meets. The fault lies solely with me. I take the blame for not pursuing his training further, and I'm ashamed of that. Why now? Well, Bonsai seems lonely since Batgirl died. It's only been 1 month, and I know that Bonsai helped to keep Batgirl young, and I'm hoping we can get another dog so he can stay young too. We always respond to our pets' medical needs, feed quality food, and play with them a lot. We also have 3 parrots and a 100-pound tortoise who live outside, but Bonsai just accepts these other animals with friendly avoidance. I will follow your program to the letter and carry on the training with our new dog as well. Already I'm so happy to have found your program. First off, thanks for writing in. And let me give you some thoughts that hopefully will be meaningful as you move forward with Bonsai. First off, and let me say to those that are watching this, she also sent me another email about a health problem he had had previously. Anyways, you've mentioned a handful of health problems from arthritis to, to these other surgeries that you're talking about. And so that is something to take into consideration. It might have nothing to do with the aggression, but it possibly could. Maybe there's some pain there or whatnot. And so one thing I would look at, which helps out a lot of arthritic dogs, and I'm not trying to pretend I'm a canine nutritionalist or an expert on the subject, but I just know that it helps a lot of dogs, mine included, I've got older dogs, is a raw diet. A high-quality kibble, which we do recommend to a lot of clients, can be great, but the raw diet can also be a wonderful thing to really help your dog be pain-free and to really help your dog even be healthier. So I would definitely look into that. I'd also look into maybe getting his thyroid levels checked. If he was doing fine and suddenly, boom, out of the blue started being aggressive, sometimes there's a chemical imbalance there that needs to be righted, and in righting that chemical imbalance, we can see some progress with a dog like him. So you can ask your dog to check his hormonal levels, thyroid levels specifically. Be careful, most vets are going to check T4 levels as just standard protocol, whereas a lot of the problems with aggression are linked to T3 levels. So ask your vet if he can do those levels as well. So like I say, I would be looking at some health things with maybe raw feeding, getting some things checked, because that could be part of the issue. The issue could just be environmental, like you describe it as he was freaked out by one dog, and suddenly that led to, him being freaked out by every dog. And that happens. Normally I see it would happen, maybe he was bullied by a bigger dog or attacked by a bigger dog. But it's not unheard of what you're describing, to where, he simply encountered a big dog, and it was such a traumatic experience for him just encountering that dog, that now he paints the whole spectrum that same color, that, oh, all dogs are freaking me out. And so like I say, it's a lot of the aggressive cases that we work with boil down to one experience that the dog had months ago, years ago, what have you, and the dog just kind of kept snowballing down from there, to where he just said, okay, every one of these the same, these prejudiced dogs of ours. And so in any case, like I say, the first thing I would work on in your case is to watch our videos on the proper leash walking. Taking him out and getting him out on walks is going to be important, but you can't do it in a way that he's just constantly looking like, where's the next dog, where's the next dog. Dogs have one-track minds for the most part. They don't multitask very well for the most part, and so getting him to think about you on the walk prevents him from really thinking about other dogs. And so leash walking is one of the first things that I would work on heavily with him, because the style of leash walking that I teach is more of a focused walk, to where we want him paying attention to you, being really looking at you, watching you, being very aware of you, because like I say, that prevents awareness towards other dogs and allows him to start re-entering the neighborhood in a way that's calm, in a way that his mind can actually think and process, versus going out and, like I say, looking around every corner and every bush for the next boogeyman dog that might be freaking him out. So that's going to be huge. And then, of course, just manners around the home. Structure and rules are the opposite of chaos and aggression. And so really focus on, we call them checks and balances, having him wait before doors, not barreling up the stairs, but waiting at the stairs, doing downstays for 30 minutes while you eat dinner, doing downstays for an hour while you watch television. Just doing things that are kind of checks and balances throughout the day that remind him about structure and control. That's going to help him live at a plane that's higher. Most dogs live, let's say they live at this plane, to where they give in to their whims. They don't maybe have a ton of impulse control, and they kind of do what they want. Yeah, maybe there's some obedience there, maybe there's some structure, but generally speaking, maybe the dog's here. By showing the dog that, obedience and structure occur through the day, we have him live at a plane that's higher. And when a dog's living in a heightened, in that state of mind, aggression is much less common, and aggression is the dog's mind doesn't go there, because, like I say, structure and control and rules fight chaos and aggression and hecticness. And so in any case, like I say, you want to make sure you're maintaining him there. So quick recap: I would look at the health issues, see if there's anything there that might be causing the aggression. Then I would work on leash walking, and then I would work on structure and rules around the house. And those three things are a really good place to start, and you're going to start to see some very good dividends from a little bit of investment in time into those three areas. So I wish you the best of luck. Happy training with your dog. Now it's time for you to get out there and get to work.